It's embarrassing. You're not living through anything right now. You're overly privileged Americans.
But I do think that laughing at it is a real problem.
Every 4 years, you bring up race, and you knew exactly what I meant when I said hilarious, and you just tried to do live what the media does all the time to Republicans, to our president, and to conservatives, which you tried to manipulate what I said to fit your narrative, okay? I was not referring to the subject matter that is hilarious. I said it's hilarious that we are sitting in this room today, and I've got 2 doctors and a missus, and nobody can give us real numbers that we can respond to so we can assess how big of a threat this is, because you know that it is not as big of a threat as you are trying to make it out to be so that you can manipulate. And the audacity of you to bring up the Christchurch shooting manifesto and make it seem as if I laughed at people that were slaughtered by a homicidal maniac is, in my opinion, absolutely despicable. And I think that we should be above that.
The left created the black card, and now they have to see what happens when you do something like this, when you say that a black woman cannot be criticized whatsoever despite what she does. Maxine Waters was patently wrong. There was no argument to be made for what she said. Her remarks were uncivil, and it was inspiring hatred toward not just Trump, the Trump administration, and the people that support Donald Trump. So they were right to condemn her, and she was roundly condemned across the board. And how did she get out of it? She had some people play the black card, and they have to contend with that. This is the environment that they created that I speak out against, saying that we should be able to have civil discourse. We should be able to say, despite the color of your skin, you can do something wrong in this country. So I thought that this is sort of the left eating its own, and Nancy Pelosi, I saw, responded, and she issued a statement essentially backing Maxine Waters. Right. So Maxine Waters, in the end, won in her own party simply because she's black. The second thing that I think is quite remarkable here is that we're talking about racial division and what sows racial division. I think the fact that every time I'm invited onto this network, I'm being asked to dispute another black person. The black community is broken up in general, and I don't want to partake in any of that. We're just ending a weekend where 71 black people were shot in Chicago, 13 of them killed, and we're not talking about that. Instead, we're talking about old tapes.
We're going to talk about all that. You have
Donald
a problem.
Trump. No, we're not. I have a problem that we're doing wall-to-wall coverage on two
with who you're
tapes that
appearing
are
on
from,
this.
No, I don't have a problem
Candace,
with him.
you have a problem with who you're appearing on this segment with?
I'm respectfully saying to him that we should both decline tearing apart the black community for the sake of television. And because MSNBC always invites me on to do that, I am declining to do so when our community is mourning the 71 people that were shot over the weekend. We need to stop this warfare and come together and talk about things that matter. And what is going on in Chicago is a bigger topic and should be a bigger topic on this network than what Trump said 18 years ago, whether or not it means that people change over 18 years, which, shocker guys, they do. Can you insult a black person? Can you insult a black person without being a racist? That's just a question
I think the minute that he went with lazy, he was using...
Why are you saying black people are lazy?
No, but that's
why does the word lazy make you think
that is a
about...
common racist
No, it is
trope.
not. I've never been called lazy my entire life. So the question is, why does the word lazy make... No, I'm asking you a question. I asked you a question. You said that lazy makes you think of black people. That's what you're saying.
That is a common racist trope.
So that's within you, not within him. That is not a common racist trope towards black people.
And it's incredible that you're defending a man who looks at a pregnant woman
I think he's a jerk. No. I think he's an absolute jerk.
That is so disgusting.
You're trying to be insulting because you're trying to move the ball because you just accidentally called black people lazy. That's what really happened.
There was another tweet that said, the Democratic Party is comprised of racist white liberals.
That is correct.
Am I a racist white liberal?
Well, let's go back and let's say, I will say this, that many people in the party are not aware of their own racism. Let's go back to an early part of this conversation where you said to me, are you concerned about the color in the White House? Why would you ask me that question?
Because you speak about black issues.
No, but why would you ask me? But let's get to really the nucleus of this. Why did you ask me that question today?
Because I'm
why did you feel that I needed to be
perspective.
concerned about that?
Because you're bringing a whole group of young African-American leaders to the White House.
Okay, so this is something that I talk about often, is that in many ways, white liberals don't realize that you put on that, the racism and the conversations that we have
So you're saying I'm a racist?
You haven't let me finish my statement. You keep cutting me off.
Go ahead.
Okay? The emphasis that you place is always on having a discussion about race, okay? You guys are insistent on having a conversation about race and telling us that we should see, and implying that we should see race everywhere, and I don't agree with that. If you don't look at me according to the color of my skin, you would simply ask me how I thought that Trump was doing as a president. But instead, you try to drum up a conversation that's surrounded by race.
what is happening right now in the black community, you're going to hear it in this room first. There's an ideological civil war happening. Black people that are focused on their past and shouting about slavery, and black people that are focused on their futures. Victim mentality is not cool. I don't know why people like being oppressed. It's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. I love oppression. We're oppressed. 400 years of slavery, Jim Crow, which, by the way, none of you guys lived through. Your grandparents did, and it's embarrassing that you utilize their history. You utilize their history, and you come in here with more emotion than they ever had when they were living through it. More emotion than they ever had when they were living through it. It's embarrassing. You're not living through anything right now. You're overly privileged Americans.
And I completely agree with your assessment about Cardi B. It is one of the biggest insults. If black Americans are not insulted by the fact that Joe Biden, who has been hiding in his basement, for the entire year, made an appearance and came out because he was going to do an interview with Cardi B. Do we have nothing better to offer? I mean, this would be akin to Donald Trump saying, I'm going to give no interviews, but he came up and he decided to give an interview to Justin Bieber. Right? I mean, Justin Bieber, I'm sorry. I know you're a Christian man. I don't even want to put you in the same boat as Cardi B. But it would be absurd, right? White America would go, what is this? Why are you being interviewed by Justin Bieber? And it's because you're pandering, right? You're pandering. You look at Cardi B's Instagram, you see she has millions of followers, and you think, okay, this is an illiterate person. And if I appeal to this illiterate person and she does, like she literally did in the middle of this interview, they think she's cool, she's hip just by sitting here and taking this interview, black people will vote for me. It's basically saying, black people, you are stupid, you are dumb, and you're so foolish. I mean, do you think, what if she just said in the middle of the interview, Joe Biden, can you name one Cardi B album? Joe Biden, do me a favor, just one Cardi B lyric. He couldn't do it. Of course he's not, because he's being handled and they're saying black people like this person. This is what they're into. And so here you go, talk to her. Same thing with Hillary Clinton when she went on the Breakfast Club and she said she had hot sauce in her bag, right? She didn't know what Beyonce's talking about came from. One of her handlers said, say this, right? Probably got the questions ahead of time. Say this. Say you keep hot sauce in your bag. Right now, Beyonce's song is trending and it's hot sauce in my bag swag. And she looked like a fish out of water and said it. It is demeaning. It is pandering. It is ridiculous, okay? And she asked pointedly ridiculous questions. I want lower taxes, but I want universal health care for all. She had no idea what she was doing, and yet both Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden made the time to sit with her because they believe black people are stupid. And black people that thought, yay, that's a win. No, it's not a win. It shows you that they still believe that you are so stupid that they couldn't find many of the amazing intellectual black people that we have in the world to sit down with and ask them tough questions. An interview with Condoleezza Rice, right? An interview with Larry Elder. Even if you want somebody that is a Democrat, that's fine. There are way more intellectual black Democrats you could have sat down with, yet you chose an illiterate rapper, because that's what she is. She's illiterate.
Tackle the white supremacy thing. Your question was a fallacy because you said you insinuated that he has not denounced white supremacy. He hasn't. Go to somebody please go to his Twitter feed right now. Right now, go back to the shootings. He said no, because we got to tell the truth. I do not stop. Now you're cutting me off, right? There we go. Now we're even.
What he said was that.
So listen.
What he said was that there was good.
No. Let me finish. Stop. Because you guys are so hung up on Charlottesville, and nobody heard the entire clip. I want to talk about why we get manipulated. I'm being serious, guys. I'm not even trying to make this like a contentious moment, because this is literally why Black America loses right here. Because we allow people with cameras to go hear a whole speech, like they do this to me all the time. They take out a couple of sentences you said, and they create a whole new headline. And people that were not there get incensed and get emotional and don't actually go back to hear what was actually said in full context. They do it to me all the time. I know they do it to Trump. He has denounced white supremacy so many times. It's something north, somebody counted, of 24 times, and it's on his Twitter feed. So if you want to fact check me, go back to a couple of weeks ago when the shootings happened. He said, America is no place for white nationalism and white supremacy, and it's an issue that has to be tackled. I'm paraphrasing. You can go find it.
He drove this nation apart. President Trump is bringing this nation together because what he is talking about is patriotism. Patriotism knows no sex, it knows no color, it knows no creed. The liberal media can ignore all the work that he's doing in Black America all they want. Every statistic in the world shows you right now that black support for Donald Trump has doubled.
But I would wish that she would have moved.
Mr. West.
Absolutely, but I would have wished that you would have moved further to the left, because when you have a Black Lives Movement under a black president, it's not going to be a matter of then moving to the right,
West,
where they have been
socialism has already been tried in our community. It's been tried via welfare policies, and it has completely crippled the black community. It has completely crippled the black family via the welfare policies. You know that. So I had to creep all the way to the right. And I have to tell
socialism
you,
is power sharing. Socialism is not giving and becoming people dependent on programs.
Never go liberal.